This week we are, sorry, I almost fell over then. This week we're going to have a look at, starting to have a look at like little back bends and arm balancing poses, but we're going to do it all with fun. So we're just going to have fun doing it. Okay, so the point of today's session is just have a bit of a laugh. And it's kind of moving on from Warrior 3 and side planks, which some people were doing on Wednesday. So it's just having a look at challenging poses, but we'll also do a lot of gentle poses in between. So it should be quite nice and fun. I think if I say fun enough, it'll be fun. So we're going to start in a seated position. Perfect, good. And if you want, at any point, if you want water, you can just stop to have water. And obviously, if anything doesn't feel right, I should give you modifications, but if none of them work, just have a break. So you can pop into child's pose. So that's housekeeping done, so we shall get started. So early seated position, just remembering you're not stuck. You can move if you want to. And then we're going to just gently close our eyes when you're ready. Just taking your focus to your breath. And as you inhale in, just gently expanding your stomach. Exhaling, softening down, releasing. Letting go of any tension and any pressure from the day. So this is your time to unwind and just focus on you. Perfect. And as you inhale in now, just allow that breath, just imagine it traveling all the way through your body, and just allow your awareness to move with that breath, checking in and seeing how you feel. And noticing any areas of tension and any areas of softness, and being okay with both. Perfect. And then just softly rooting down into your seat bones. And then gently lifting yourself up, lengthening through your spine. Nice and naturally and softly. And don't worry, sometimes, actually most people's natural is a little bit wonky, so there's no judgment. It's still natural, it's you, okay? So just allowing yourself to sit as you please, nice and neutral. And now as you inhale in, you're going to just take that breath in a little bit deeper, drawing that prana in, expanding your stomach. And as you exhale, you're going to hug that navel in, drawing your belly in a little bit tighter as you exhale. So we're really starting to engage that diaphragm, engage that core. Inhaling in, expanding stomach, drawing that breath in. As you exhale, hugging the navel in, really, really engaging. As we progress with yoga, you'll notice that you use your core more and more, and you'll become more and more aware of it. And please do not think that you have to have abs to have good core strength, because it has nothing to do with that. It's a combination of awareness and strength. So don't worry at all about that. You will notice that strength in you as you progress. And we often notice it through the balancing poses. Perfect. And now we're going to inhale in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to flow through this a couple more times. And you can take it deeper, you can take it shallower. We've done this before, it might feel easier. So taking it as deep as you want. And I'm going to go quiet for a couple of moments, just so that you can focus on it. Perfect. And then when we're ready, we're going to gently open our eyes and come back to the room. Wonderful. So we're going to do a little bit more breath work on all fours. So we're starting to advance our breath work, which is very hard. And it's actually going to be quite fun for me to teach, because half the stuff that I'm getting you guys to do now, I'm really not allowed to do myself. So I did a little bit more breath work, and then we're going to get moving. So on all fours, just keeping elbows nice and soft. So you don't want to lock them. Wrists under shoulders, you know the drill. Knees under hips. I said knees under elbows. And all we're going to do is you're going to inhale in, expanding your stomach, keeping your back neutral. And then as you exhale, you're going to hug your navel in. So exhaling, hugging in. And then you're going to inhale in, hugging it in a little bit more. Exhale out, holding it. And then you're going to inhale in, releasing. And at that point, you will be thoroughly confused. You'll be like, what on earth am I doing? And that's okay, that's normal. Okay? So inhaling in, expanding your stomach. Exhaling, hugging it in. Inhaling, taking it, hugging it in a bit more if you want, or holding it. Exhaling, hugging in a bit more. Inhaling, releasing. If anyone feels dizzy doing this, or feels nauseous, just stop doing it and return to normal breathing, because this is quite hard on the diaphragm and your core. So inhaling in, expanding the stomach, exhaling, drawing in, inhaling, hugging in, exhaling, drawing in a little bit deeper, inhaling, expanding. Perfect. Inhaling in, expanding the stomach. Exhaling, hugging in to wherever you want. Inhaling, holding or hugging. Exhaling, hugging in. Inhaling, inhaling, expanding the stomach. Inhaling, expanding through the stomach. Shut up, Molly. Inhaling, expanding the stomach. Exhaling, hugging the stomach in. Inhaling, hugging a little bit deeper. Exhaling, final hug. Inhaling, releasing. Perfect. So we're going to flow through that a couple more times. And now I'm going to go nice and quiet, just that you can focus on it. Please stop if you feel a bit unwell. Perfect. And then when we're ready, we're going to release that diaphragm, release that core, and return to normal. Brilliant. Good. And any feedback on that would be greatly appreciated. So we're going to start moving. So all we're going to do is we're going to just gently start by gently exhaling into child's pose, extended child's pose. We're going to do a little back flow. So all you're going to do is, as you come up, you're going to arch your back, coming up and forwards. And then you're going to gently, as you come back, hug your navel in, rounding your back, coming into extended child's pose, and then coming forwards, arching your back into tabletop, hugging navel in, rounding shoulders, releasing buttocks back to hips, child's pose. Perfect, lovely, good. And you take this as deep or as shallow as you want. And you'll notice, you might notice that your hips want your knees to be nice and wide or close together. And that will affect how deep you can stretch with your back. So do not worry, play around with this. We're just getting into our shoulders, into our spine, into our back. Wonderful, good. And this, I will confess this now, this was a stretch that to be honest, I don't sound like a very good yogi. This was a stretch I didn't really like, along with half the other poses apparently. So you might really like it, or it might feel a bit strange, do not worry. And it can sometimes take a bit of time to grow on you. Perfect. And then when you're ready, coming back to center. Wonderful. So we're going to gently tuck the left toes under, and then as you exhale, you're going to just stretch that left leg back, and then popping the toes down, we're going to stretch through the heels, gentle calf stretch. We won't spend very long here. So we're just activating the calves, and then softening the left knee down, taking it to the other side. Stretching back, lowering the toes, stretching through the right heel. Lovely, good. Perfect. And then releasing. And then doing a little bird dog. So tucking the left toes under, and then exhaling, stretching back, and then bringing that right hand up. Perfect. And for those that were exploring Warrior 3, this will feel like a walk in the park. Perfect, lovely. And then releasing back down. Really nice, guys. And then taking it to the other side, tucking the right toes under, stretching that right leg back, and then left arm forwards. Perfect, good. And if you struggle with it a little bit, just focus on that gaze, keeping the spine nice and long, and then coming back to all fours. So we're going to make it a bit more challenging now. And the point of this is we're going to have fun. So just listen to your body and do not worry if you come out of it. We're going to stretch back with that left foot, and then engaging that core, pushing down into your arms. You're going to lift up that left hand up as well. Okay, so you're lifting up on one side. I will admit this glorious, really, really nice, guys. I will admit I could not do this pose until I became pregnant. And then when you're ready, we'll release down. Perfect. Yeah, I was really embarrassing. I kept falling over. So we're going to take it to the other side. So stretching back through the right foot. Perfect. And you can pop the toes on the ground as well if you want. And then lifting up the right hand as well. You might notice one side feels a lot harder than the other. That's okay. Good, lovely. So again, just having fun with it. Good. I'm massively cheating, by the way, ignore me. Good. And then releasing back down. Perfect. So we're going to make our way moving. So we're going to head into downward dog. So those that don't want to, they're going to do keeping hips up. They're going to do an extended puppy dog, stretching the arms out in front, or dolphin pose, forearms down. So when we're ready, inhaling in, and then as we exhale, bringing the hips up and back, stretching through. Lovely, good. Perfect. And do not worry about how bent your knees are. You're just gently stretching back, opening up and releasing. And then you can softly pedal with your heels, just stretching through your legs. Lovely. And then when we're ready, softly releasing back down to the knees, all fours. Perfect. And then we're going to flow through that again. So when we're ready, tucking toes under. As we exhale, hips up and back, hugging the navel in. Wonderful, good. And not being afraid to adapt it at any point you want, just listening to your body. Wonderful, pedaling through. Good. And then when you're ready, and you're going to use your hands to help if you need to, we're going to just inhale that left foot up to the sky, three-legged dog, and then we're going to exhale, drawing it forward by our hands, walking it forward with your hands if you need to, and then lowering that right knee down to a low lunge. Perfect, good, good. Lovely. And then all we're going to do is we're going to gently inhale our hands up to the sky, and then we're going to exhale, drawing them behind our back, interlacing the fingers, and then just stretching into those fingers, opening the chest. So the poses we're going to have a look at today are arm balances, back bends, and core. So we're just waking up, activating. Perfect. And then we're going to softly release. And then placing your hands down, we're going to bring that left foot back, and then we're going to bring that right foot forwards, low lunge. Good, perfect. It was a lazy yogi way of doing it, to be honest, but it's effective. And then we're going to come up. Good. And just for that balance, pushing into that front toe, and then same again. Inhaling, hands up. And then as we exhale, drawing the hands behind, interlacing the fingers, stretching through. Wonderful, good. And you might feel, keeping that pelvis tucked under, you might feel a lovely stretch in your hip flexor as well. Lovely. And then releasing back down. Fabulous. And then in tabletop, we're going to just lift up that left foot and then stretching through the toes. We're going to lower the toes down to the ground. And then what we're going to do this time is walk the toes, draw the toes back behind, your right foot. So we're drawing it back. Good. And then if you want to, you're going to inhale that left hand up. So there's a gentle back bend. Good, lovely, really nice. And you want to lift up with your hips as you do this, and lift up with your heart center, your chest. Good, wonderful. So we're not loading the arm. And then releasing the right hand back down, and the right knee. So taking it to the other side, don't worry me. So stretching back through the right toes. Good. Lowering the toes down. Sorry, can't see. And then stretching those toes, walking those toes back behind, and then inhaling that right hand up as well. Good, lovely. And really, you can push into that left knee on the ground. And then lifting up with the heart, lifting up with the hips. Lovely. And then releasing back down to tabletop. Perfect. And then tucking toes under. As we exhale, we're going to come up to downward facing dog. Pedaling through. And then taking those feet as wide as you want. Bending your knees, you're going to walk your hands to your feet, or feet to hands to a forward fold. Lovely, good. And then in this forward fold, come out of it if you feel dizzy at any point. You're going to gently release forward with your chest. And you're going to just bring your hands up behind your back. And you're going to just interlace your fingers and press back into your hands, opening the chest. Lovely, good. So we're softening, perfect. Now you might actually feel, if you feel a bit heavy in the head, come out of it, you might feel yourself folding forwards a little bit more, and we're not pulling ourselves. So we're really hinging from the hips. And then when you're ready, we're going to softly release with the hands back to the ground. And then nice and slowly, we're going to walk our hands up our legs, and we're going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Wonderful, perfect. So we're going to flow through a little Surya Namaskar, but just take your feet a little bit wider than hip width. So we're just creating a little bit of space in our hips. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, scooping our hands up to the sky. And then we're going to exhale, swan diving forwards. Forward fold. Wonderful. And then we're going to take our feet a little bit wider to the edges of our mat. Bending the knees, we're going to step back to a wide-legged high plank. So we're just creating space in our hips. Lovely, good. And then lowering those knees down. We're going to, any way you want to, inhale into Cobra. Any way you want. Perfect, good. And then any way you want to, again, we're going to exhale, hips up and back, wide-legged, downward facing dog. And it's not necessarily, but it should feel a little bit softer, a little bit more open. Wonderful, good. If you don't feel that, do not worry, okay, because everyone is unique. And then we're going to walk feet to hands or hands to feet, forward fold. Wonderful, good. And then we're going to just softly inhale that left hand up to the sky, opening the chest, creating room. Lovely. And then releasing that left hand down, we're going to inhale the right hand up now, opening the chest. Wonderful. And then releasing it back down. And then softening your knees, we're going to walk our hands up our legs to Tadasana. Perfect. So we're going to flow through that Surya Namaskar again, but we're going to now take our legs to about, believe it or not, 2 times hip width. Okay, so it'll be wider than your mat will be useless. Sorry, guys. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, scooping the hands up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward, wide-legged forward fold. Lovely. Now, going to feel a bit strange. You're going to step back into a wide-legged high plank. Good, lovely. And then you're going to lower your knees, still wide. And then any way you want to, you're going to inhale into Cobra. Perfect. And then good. And then you're going to exhale, softening down onto your front. Sorry, I'm doing it bizarrely. It's just to protect the bump. Good. Now, if it feels comfy, I can see you guys want to do this already, you're going to bring your feet up to above your buttocks. Good. So they're pointing up. And then if it feels okay, you're going to inhale into Cobra or Sphinx with your forearms on the ground. Okay? Yogi's choice. Good, lovely. So you'll feel a stretch and just hold it for a second. I'm coming out of it. Good. You'll feel a stretch down your hip flexors. Wonderful, lovely. And then lowering your toes back down. We're going to exhale, tucking the toes under, pushing up into, for a moment, a wide-legged downward dog, and then walking the hands to the feet, wide-legged forward fold. Wonderful, lovely. And then all we're going to do is we're going to softly bend the knees, and then we're going to walk our hands up our legs to a wide-legged standing position. Perfect. So creating a little bit more space in our hips before we get on with our main strong pose. We're going to just bring our hands to our heart center, or your hips if you prefer. And then all we're going to do, we've done this before, is we're going to gently bend that left knee and we're going to stretch into it. Perfect. And then you're going to come back up to center, and then you're going to move across to the right knee. And then back to center, and then keep going across. And as you're doing this, you want to keep your spine nice and long, pelvis tucked under, core engaged, okay? So we're not collapsing on our hips. Lovely. And as we keep doing this and flow through at any speed, you might feel a little bit lower, and that's completely Okay, wonderful. So now when we're ready, the next time you're on your left-hand side, you're going to just bring your left elbow to the knee, and then you're going to just open up that right hand. We're doing like a modified extended side angle. Good. Perfect. Breathing into it. Lovely. This is when you find out you've got a slippy mat. My mat's slippy. And then we're going to come back up to centre and then taking it to the other side, bending the right knee, and then same again, right forearm to the thigh, opening back the left arm. Lovely, good. And really tapping in to lifting that chest, drawing back the shoulders. Wonderful. And then back up to centre. And then we're going to just gently point out that left toe. And then you're going to just softly bend that left knee. Wonderful, good. And then we're going to just gently bring that left forearm or hand to the thigh. And then you're going to bring that right hand up if you want. It can just stay on your hip, it doesn't matter. Good. And as you're doing this, you want to keep your tummy facing forwards, shoulders back. Wonderful, good. Now, if you want to take it deeper, listening to your body, keeping your core engaged, you're going to start to lower your left fingers to the ground. Okay, but we don't want to put all our weight on the hands. We're still keeping everything aligned. We're holding ourselves up. Perfect. Good. Only do this if you want to. Wonderful. And then what you can do is bring that right hand back behind, opening the chest. Hold it for me. I'm just being lazy. Good. Breathing into it. Perfect. Lovely. Actually, my mat, I'm going to slip. There we are. And then holding it for a couple more breaths, keeping that core engaged, using all the muscles. Perfect. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale up to warrior two. Perfect. And then we're going to turn the toes back to the front. Lovely. So we're going to take it to the other side. So opening out that right foot and then bending that right knee. This is really nice, guys, by the way. And then when we're ready, gently bringing right forearm to thigh and left arm. You really will notice that you find it's much easier on one side. Perfect. And really pushing into the outside edge of that left leg. And then when you're ready, if you want to take it deeper, you're going to bring your right hand down to the ground. Oh, no, my bumper's not letting me. Good, right hand down to the ground. Perfect, nice, guys. And then same again, if you want to, you're going to bring that left hand back behind to the hips. We're opening the shoulders, lifting the chest, engaging the core. So with this pose, because it's stretch and strength, we don't want to ever collapse into it. We want to hold ourselves up. Really nice, that's nice. And then when we're ready, engaging that core, inhaling back to warrior two. Perfect. And then turning the toes to face the front. And then keeping soft knees, we're going to inhale up tall. And then as we exhale, just gently fold forwards, wide-legged forward fold. Wonderful, lovely. Perfect, nice and soft. And then keeping hands on the ground, we're going to just walk the feet in to a little bit wider than hip width, toes pointing out, and then keeping your hands on the ground, we're going to exhale, squatting down into a yogi squat. Wonderful, lovely, good. And then you can play around with this a little bit, so you can pop your heels on the ground if you want, or you don't have to if you think you're going to roll back. Good. And then we're going to place our hands on the ground and make our way down. So we're going to head into our main pose. This is a new pose called Wild Thing. I know, very exciting. Or Rock Star. I think it's also called the Rock Star pose. So we're going to do modified first. Well, we've done modified first of all already, actually. So we're going to first of all look at going into it from a plank, which will feel harder, but you've got a bit more control. So if you're a bit unsure about what you're doing, you can watch me do it and then go through it with me, or you can join in straight away. So we're going to come up to a high plank. And then you're going to, everyone on Wednesday is going to be like, no, not again. You're going to bring your left foot to behind, to beside your right foot. And then you're going to pivot onto the edge of your left foot. Now, before you come into a side plank, that top foot, you're going to pop behind, pressing in to your right foot on the ground. And then if you want to, you're going to lift that right hand up and back. Now, you want to, nice guys, you want to really lift your hips and your chest. Wonderful, good. And then coming back to tabletop. Now, if you look at that going, not my thing, because it's very strong on your shoulders and your wrists, the modified version, you're going to keep your knee on the ground. So it's just like what we did before, knee on the ground, okay? And you can play around with either. So we're going to take it to the other side now, if that's okay for everyone. We will do it again. So we will do it once more on both sides. So we're going to be able to do it. So when we're ready, coming into a high plank or tabletop. So high plank or tabletop. And then bringing, if you're in high plank, bring that right foot next to your left and pivot onto the side of your foot. Quickly bring that left foot back behind. Good. Pushing into it. And then inhaling the left hand. Wonderful, guys. Nice. If this feels too much on your wrists or your shoulders, you just come out of it, but you want to keep lifting your hips up. Perfect. Good. And then we're going to gently release back to tabletop. Good. Good. Yeah, that was nice releasing from everyone. I did it earlier and just collapsed. So we're going to come to kneeling, and you can just quickly massage your wrists, give them a bit of twisting, a bit circling. And just listening to your wrist. So if that felt a bit much on your wrist, a bit too sore, please just do it with your knee on the ground, because both are wild thing. Both are the pose, and you'll feel the benefits from both. So we're going to now look at going into it from, if people want, downward facing dog. So if you prefer to do it from plank, you can. So either coming up into plank or downward facing dog, whichever you would prefer. Good. And then to start off with, this is when we want to be quite mindful. You're going to just inhale that left foot up to the sky, and then you're going to start to draw it back behind you towards the right. As you do this, you'll feel your right foot pivot and your toes start to face the left. If you're going with it and it feels good, you can do that, and you can bring that right foot down to the ground, and then you can inhale, left foot down to the ground, left foot down to the ground. You can inhale the left hand up. Okay, good. Pushing up with the hips, nice. Yeah, that's good, that's good. That's nice, Kate. Good, perfect. You want to keep lifting the hips up, drawing the hand back, lifting the chest up. Nice, guys. Then we're going to place that hand back down, lift the left foot back up, back to downward facing dog. Wonderful. And then coming back to tabletop, back to kneeling, releasing the wrists. Wonderful. Nicely done, guys. So high plank is harder to get. High plank is harder because you've got the plank and the side plank, but you have a lot more control going in to wild thing into the pose. So you can pick, if you prefer going from the plank, just do that every time. So we're going to take it to the other side. So just coming into tabletop, either high plank or downward facing dog, or knees on the ground, okay? So when we're ready, exhaling into downward facing dog or plank or tabletop. And then if you want to, you're going to inhale that right foot up to the sky, stretching through. And then just start to draw it back behind you, pivoting on that left foot. And then lowering that right foot onto the ground, inhaling, pushing up with the hips and lifting up that right hand. Lovely, guys. Nice. Good. And engaging that core, engaging that back. Nice. Fabulous. Good. And then wonderful. When we're ready, releasing back down to downward facing dog. So pivoting back round or coming straight into tabletop, whatever you want. Perfect. And then lowering the knees nice and wide, toes together, softly coming into extended child's pose. Releasing the wrists. Wonderful. And then softly walking the hands back to the knees, coming up to kneeling. Fabulous. So we're going to flow through that again from downward dog or plank so that everybody feels they've done it on both sides a couple of times. Just play with it and do it however you want to do, listening to your wrists. And because I'm getting you to hold it for a bit longer, if you're in it and you're like, I can't hold this anymore, just come out of it sooner, okay? But what you want to try and do, you're going to do this anyway, is pivot out of it, don't fall. So when you're ready, we'll come into tabletop, and then we're going to do it once more, so either downward dog or plank or tabletop. Exhaling into that starter position, pedaling back. Wonderful, good. And just feel the freedom in the movement. Have a bit of fun with this. This is a fun pose. Inhaling that left foot back, up and back, drawing it behind, pivoting on that right foot and bringing that left foot back behind, lifting that left hand up. Good. And adapting as you want to. Wonderful, perfect. And as you're doing it, lifting the hips, lifting the chest. Lovely. And then releasing back down to downward facing dog or tabletop. And then releasing onto your knees and then coming back to kneeling, relaxing your wrists, stretching the wrists, just softening them. Good, perfect. You might also find this is quite a lot on the shoulders, so you might want to do some shoulder rolls. And then we're going to do the last one. There's also, this is completely allowed in yoga, you can do one side differently to the other. So that's completely okay and completely normal. There we go. So when we're ready, we're going to come on to the other side. And this is the last one before we head into our cool down. So when we're ready, exhaling into downward facing dog or tabletop or plank. And I'm going to do it in tabletop this time for anyone that wants to join me. Perfect. Good. And then when you're ready, if you're in downward dog, you're going to lift up that right foot. Perfect. Tabletop, you're going to stretch through the toes on the ground. Wonderful. Then you're going to start to draw back that right foot. Tabletop, toes on the ground. That's it. Good. And then lifting that right hand up. Wonderful. That's nice. Good. Good. Keeping elbow soft but engaged. So hand is engaged, but we're not hurting that elbow. Wonderful. Nice. Lifting the hips, lifting the chest. Feeling that strength from your glutes. And then when, really nice guys, when you're ready, releasing down, bringing back down to tabletop. Perfect. And then softly widening the knees, just lowering down to extended child's pose or child's pose with your hands under your forehead, whatever you prefer. Releasing your wrists, releasing your shoulders. And staying here for a couple of breaths, just marveling at what you and your body managed to do, feeling that strength, feeling that softness and how you just fluidly moved through it. Perfect. And then when we're ready, nice and gently, we're going to make our way back up to kneeling. Perfect. So we're going to head into cool down, into stretches. You'll be relieved to know there's going to be no more weight bearing on your wrists and your arms. So we're going to start off just doing a wide-legged forward fold. So we're doing, when we look at Wild Thing, it's very hip, it opens your hips a lot, amongst other things. So we're going to just follow on from that, doing a wide-legged forward fold. So you can, it doesn't matter how wide your legs are, it doesn't matter if they're here, or, I mean, I'm not going to do splits, or splits. You can gently push through your heels, so you're stretching through your legs. And if that puts pressure on your back, you can just lean against the wall, which I'm going to do. Good. So we're going to just gently inhale up tall. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to softly fold forwards. Perfect. Doesn't matter where you go. If this feels a bit uncomfy, come back a little bit, okay? Because the moment we open our legs and stretch through our heels, we are stretching. So it doesn't matter how deep we go. And if you want to, you can bring your hands to your feet, to either feet, just stretching through if you prefer that. Perfect, good. And then in this stretch, we're just going to inhale nice and long. Exhaling, folding forwards from the hips. Wonderful. Perfect. We're going to stay here for a couple more breaths if that feels okay. And we don't want to pull from the shoulders. We're just releasing. Wonderful. Perfect. And then when you're ready, nice and softly, releasing with the hands and gently bringing yourself back up. Perfect. So we're going to now bring our legs together. I'm going to keep leaning against the wall. You can join me, by the way, if you're leaning against the wall. And you can have your feet a little bit far apart or right together. It doesn't matter, yogi's choice. And we're going to do the same again. So we're going to inhale up tall. And then as you exhale, just start to walk your hands down your legs to a forward fold. Perfect. Lovely. And there's a reason why I haven't got you to grab a strap, because I'm going to do it a little bit differently in a minute. Perfect. Now, you might come back a little bit, that's okay. You're going to gently release with your hands, and you're going to walk your hands on the ground back behind you. And then you're going to just interlace your fingers. Sorry, I'll show you this way. Interlace your fingers back behind, and you're going to gently stretch through. Okay, so we're lengthening through the back. And then if you want to, you're going to fold forwards. Perfect. Lovely. Good. So now we're really folding from the base of our spine. Wonderful. And if you feel any pains, you just ease out of it. So nice and gentle. Perfect. And we're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. And if it feels too much for your shoulders, you just release with your hands. Wonderful. And then when we're ready, nice and softly, just releasing with the hands and coming back up to center. Perfect. Good. So we're going to gently, we're going to do a few more stretches on our back. So just gently, either gently moving down onto your back or rolling onto your side and then coming down. We're going to make our way onto our back with our knees bent. Wonderful. Good. So we're going to do one little bridge pose. We're going to do supported bridge, just because we've been looking a lot at those back bends. So all we're going to do is having feet hip distance apart. As we inhale in, we're going to press into the feet and lift our hips up to the sky. So gentle back bend. And then if you want to take it deeper, you're going to pop your hands under your back, supporting your back with your elbows on the ground. If that doesn't feel nice for you, do not do it. And this is what, because we'll start to be looking at shoulder stands and stuff like that. Not just yet, and I won't make you, but this is a really good prep pose for shoulder stands. Perfect. Breathing into it. Lovely. And then when you're ready, softly releasing and then lowering down vertebrae by vertebrae into the ground. Perfect. So we're going to do a gentle version of reclined eagle. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your right foot over, you're going to bring your right knee over your left leg. So we've crossed our legs. Perfect, good. And then if it feels comfortable to do so, and you can grab a strap and pop it behind your legs, we're going to lift your legs up, and then you can gently bring that right foot underneath your left calf. Good, perfect. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop doing that. Good, perfect, lovely. Holding it like that. Ignore me, I'm going to come out of it, just because it's putting a bit too much pressure on the bum. Good. And then if you can loosen it and just have it like me if you want. And then all you're going to do using your hands is you're going to draw your knees in to your stomach in that furled position. Perfect. Lovely, nice, good. Good, 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 good. Keeping the back nice and soft and relaxed. So we're stretching glutes, hips. Perfect. And then when you're ready, softly releasing the feet back down and unfurling. And then taking it to the other side. So bringing the left foot over the right. And then same again, lifting the legs up. And then if possible, bringing your left foot underneath your right calf, pushing the toes in. Good. Wonderful, nice. And then same again, drawing those knees in with your hands if that feels okay. Feeling a gentle stretch. Perfect. Lovely. Breathing into it. And if it feels sore or feels too much, just come out of it. You just want to feel a nice, gentle stretch. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to softly release the foot back down and then unfurl. Wonderful. So we're going to finish off with a little, I call it thread the needle, or it's number 4. So we're going to just gently lift that right knee up, and then you're going to place the right foot on your left thigh. And the whole time, because we've used a lot of our back, we're keeping the back nice and relaxed in the ground. And then if you want to, you can use the strap. You can wrap a strap around the back of your right knee, right thigh. If you want to, we're going to draw that right leg up, taking a hold of the back of the right thigh, drawing your legs in. Lovely, perfect. And we've done this stretch quite a lot, so you might notice it feels a little bit easier, it feels a little bit softer. You might not today, that's okay. So our body's different every day. Lovely, good. Keeping shoulders nice and soft. Nice and soft. Lovely. And on your exhalations, if you want to, you just take that stretch a little bit deeper. Wonderful. Good. And then when we're ready, softening the right foot down, unfurling, and then taking it to the other side. So popping the right ankle on top of the left thigh, and then same again, lifting that left leg up and just taking a hold. Lovely, good. And just taking a couple of moments to release down into the ground. And as you exhale, you just soften down with your shoulders, softening and releasing. Perfect. Good. Just taking this moment to thank your body, thank your hips, your legs, your back, your core, for all that it's done for you. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to softly release and unfurl. Wonderful, good. And then very quickly to finish off, we're going to just stretch that left foot up to the sky. And this time we're going to do a slightly opposite stretch. You're going to stretch through your toes. So stretching through your toes. Wonderful, good. Stretching out your calves. And you can gently, putting your hands behind your left thigh, you can draw that leg towards your head, stretching through the toes. Lovely. And then giving it a little shake, and then softly releasing back down. And then taking it to the other side. So bringing the right foot up to the sky and stretching through the toes. Sorry, I'm just thinking about all the horse rides because we put our heels down a lot. This actually feels very odd. I don't know about anyone else. There we are. And then same again, drawing that foot back towards your head, stretching through the toes. And you'll feel a stretch maybe down the front of your foot and down your shin. Lovely. And then shaking it out. Wonderful. And then softly releasing. Perfect. So we're going to head into our Shavasana. So you can grab a blanket if you want, or a jumper. And we're going to just, when you're done, don't worry, you've got loads of time to do it. We're going to make our way down to a lying down position. I'm going to grab a quick drink. Perfect. So you can lie down with your knees bent, your legs out to the corners of your mat, or you can sit up leaning against a wall if it's maybe a bit too much for your back. So getting comfortable and just allowing your arms to relax out by your side, palms facing up. Allowing the shoulders to melt down, releasing. Wonderful. And gently, when you're comfortable, gently closing your eyes. Fabulous. And just for a moment, having a little reflection on all that you did. That was a new pose that we attacked today. And just thinking about the skills and how you achieved so much more than you maybe thought you could, about everything you managed, about how strong you felt. And just knowing how capable and strong you are. We always are stronger than we think we are. Wonderful. Just reflecting on how you had a bit of fun and it was nice to try something a bit new. Lovely. And then just keeping that gentle happiness, that relaxation. We're going to start to focus on our breath. Inhaling in, drawing that breath in all the way through your body, expanding your stomach. Exhaling, softening down, releasing. Allowing yourself to just let go and be in this moment. When we look at doing harder poses and we look at sometimes finding them challenging or being light-hearted and just giving it a go, that is a good way of us being in the moment of focusing on the now. We're not worrying about the future. We're not reflecting on the past. We're just being in that present moment. And now as you're lying here, releasing into the present moment, just bring your awareness to the ground beneath you. That might be your mat, that might be the ground, the surface, and just feeling the gentle coolness of it underneath you, feeling your back and your shoulders, your buttocks, your heels, gently pressing down and releasing. And feeling that ground, that solid earth holding you. And all you have to do is be. Wonderful. And then as we inhale in, feel that gentle lift of your stomach. Gentle rising. And then as you exhale, feel it soften down. Feel your back release, your hips release. Inhaling in, drawing that breath in all the way through your body. Exhaling and softly letting go. Letting go of all the tension and any thoughts. Inhaling in, all the way through your body, down to your feet, your legs, and as you exhale, soften and release, allowing your toes to get a little bit heavier, your heels to get a bit heavier, your knees, and your buttocks and your hips, releasing down. And now we're going to allow that awareness to travel up to our stomach, our chest, and our back. And as we exhale, feeling your back, feeling your stomach, your hips, your chest, letting go and being held by the earth. And as you feel that feeling travels through your body, you'll feel your shoulders release, your chest open, your hands relax into the ground and your arms relax down. And finally, allowing your head to release down onto the earth. And as you're lying here, relaxed and happy, I'm going to go nice and quiet just for a moment so that you can enjoy your Shavasana. Perfect. And now when we're ready, any way you want, and you will be the expert at this, you're going to start to just wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes, circling your ankles, circling your wrists, bringing the awareness back to your body any way you want. You might want to stretch, you might want to yawn, you might want to hug your knees in, rocking side to side, whatever feels good, just gently loosening up and waking up. Wonderful. And for those that want to, hugging their knees in, they can rock side to side, giving themselves a nice big hug. Wonderful. And this is your exit from Shavasana. This is your exit. There's no right or wrong way. You do it any way you want. And then when you're ready, gently rocking or rolling, we're going to make our way up to a seated position. Perfect. Good. And then for those that want to, oh, perfect. Yeah, Kirian's there. Cool. I couldn't see you. I panicked. For those that want to, we're going to finish off with a little namaste and you can join in. So bringing our hands to our heart center and then up to our third eye center for kind thoughts, down to our mouth for kind words, and then down to our heart for kind feelings. Namaste. Thank you. And I hope you have a fun, sound very sarcastic, I hope you have a really fun rest of the week. Nice and relaxed, and I hope you guys enjoyed that pose. You all did it really well. So that's Wild Thing. It's also called Rockstar. I think it's got another name as well, so you can look it up. It's quite a new yoga pose, hence the name. But I will let you all go, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.